stuff like that.
I thought you did in-depth research about me.
I did. You have 112,000 subscribers. All your thumbnails are in blue with the product in the middle. And is that a strategy? Like, do you think that works for you? Or is just that aesthetically pleasing to you? That's
Yes.
what you did.
Yes. So Mark Bennett's Camera Crisis, like midlife crisis, because I started it when I was old. But it is absolutely totally on purpose. The font, the blue background, and it's a branding. Now, like, I was just doing that before, and then about 6 months after I started doing that, I saw Gerald Undone give a talk where he was saying to people, you should do things like that. But in part, I did it because of the way he did his thumbnails with the purple and on the table. You know, oh, that's a Gerald. So I wanted everyone to go, oh, that's a Mark video.
Okay,
and then so
you did your own version.
Yeah, and also I just stick my hand and then I put the same blue background, so it takes me about 3 minutes. And that makes a big difference.
Okay.
I hate making thumbnails. So when I found one that worked, I'm like, I'm doing that every time. Every time.
So you're not using ChatGPT to make your thumbnails with all those like brush strokes and drop shadow?
I tried a couple for fun to see what it is. And they have my face, but it's not me. It's a different guy. He's got like a mustache.
It's never going to be you.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so how and why did you start creating content?
Money. I wanted a whole lot of money. And so, no, I was a stand-up comedian for 20 years, and the pandemic happened. And when the pandemic happened, everything shut down. And I was planning on, I had a YouTube channel about stand-up comedy, but of course I can't do that. And I loved all the camera gear talk, and I was planning to start one myself. And since the pandemic, I couldn't do stand-up anymore. You couldn't even gather in more than 2 or 3 people.
Yeah,
so
immediate family only, and they've heard all your jokes. So.
Yeah, and they don't like them. And so I just started I went, all right, I'll start my channel. And I started talking about the A7 III. That was like my first video. And it took, I thought it would work, but it worked really fast. So after about a year, I was like, oh, okay, I never went back to comedy. Even when it opened up, you know, it took about 2 years to actually make any money, but after the first year, it was already like, this is gonna work, you know?
Nice. So what was the gear did you start with? What lights, what mic?
Yeah, so what I did is I bought like a little pack of newer soft boxes, they were like $60, comes with the stand, and like they look like balloons. Yeah. So I did those with
the seal bulbs inside.
The twirly like pigtail. Yeah, I had those little bulbs, and then I just put those, and I used a G7, a Panasonic G7. I had to manually focus because it couldn't autofocus. Yeah, and so that's what I started with.
And that's for your comedy videos.
Yes, and when I started my YouTube channel, I used a GH5 because I wanted to step up from that, and I was used to the Panasonic. Eventually, I transitioned to the ZV-E10 from Sony because I needed the autofocus.
And it's such a good camera.
Yeah, it's
such a good underrated camera. Like for a budget, like that's the first camera I recommend because it's easy to use. And it's very good.
Yeah, that is, and the one I recommend first as well. You stole my idea, but that is what I did. The second,
maybe I got it from you.
You probably did. I'm very influential. I'm an influencer.
Oh, same.
So yeah, I think that's the camera most people should start with. It's got the flip out screen, great video quality, but the most important thing is that its autofocus works flawlessly.
Yes, its autofocus is better than the A7 III that I use right now. Yeah. But for my talking head video, once it focuses, I'm good with it.
Yeah. And so that's the one I would recommend. So I started with Lumix. When I started my comedy channel, Sony hadn't even released the A7 III.
No.
So like their revolution of autofocus hadn't even happened.
No.
So to me, that's why I was buying, I'll just get something.
Yeah.
But then once the A7 III came out, and everyone was like guys like Gerald Undone are like, so the autofocus works now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, really? So I bought an A7 III for photos, but I wanted something for video, and that's when I did the ZV-E10. And my channel got popular because of the ZV-E10.
Oh, because all the content you made on the ZV-E10.
Yeah, and I talked about it. Like everybody at the time when that came out, it got really bad reviews. And everyone was like, it's supposed to be a vlogging camera. It doesn't vlog well because it had bad stabilization.
Okay.
And so I did a bunch of videos going, you guys know this is an A6600 for half the price,
Yes,
right?
and I think A6600 didn't have a mic input, if I am remembering correctly, and this one did.
Yeah, and
you had to
headphone
record
jack,
audio.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and it was just like you can get the people raved about the A6600, but now you can get a camera for half the price with the same sensor.
Yeah.
And then when I did that video, a lot of people were going, "Hey, it's the same sensor as the A6600."
Yeah.
And then they took off, and Sony, has me to thank for it.
So
Me.
So if somebody is starting creating content today, what would you recommend they get first? For my recommendation
Yep.
is keep the camera
Yep.
till you make money. When you make money,
Yeah.
then you buy a camera.
Yeah, definitely start right away with your phone if you got one.
Yeah.
But if you got the money, I would do
ZV-E10.
I do ZV-E10. I would do the DJI mic Mini, and I would do what was it? Microphone. This lights.
What light would you
lights?
recommend? Like the one you got for $60?
Yeah, I would do Ulanzi
newer-
lights, newer Ulanzi,
Small
small
rig.
rig, any of them that don't cost very much. Just get yourself a nice light. Get a nice softbox. They're like $60.
If I want to go cheaper for my mic, which one would you recommend? Like
Mm.
ZV, because this one without sale is like $90
Mm-hmm.
with just one receiver, with one transmitter.
Yeah, it's still a DJI mic Mini with one receiver and one transmitter. Still pretty cheap.
Yeah.
You're not going to do much better unless you get maybe a small rig or a Ulanzi. But when you're talking about, sometimes you can get these for $50, $60
Yeah.
on sale.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think that's about as good as you could do.
Yeah, 60. What gear do you use now?
I use the ZV-E10 Mark II, and I have an FX30 as my second angle. I use the Sony 15 millimeter. Oh, that was what I was going to recommend. Get the Viltrox 15 millimeter f1.7
Okay.
to do a talking head on the ZV-E10. I will also say, to go back to what you should do, is you don't even need lights. Just go shoot in the daylight. You will look a lot better in the daylight, and you don't have to learn anything about color grading. So we had to move because it's really loud here.
Yeah. We auctioned all his stuff for like $5.
Yeah.
All of it.
Kofi is terrible at auctioning.
Yeah. It's the reverse auctioning.
Yeah.
He starts with a higher amount and then goes lower.
And as fast as he can. Yeah.
Like 70, 50,
Maybe
10.
people can't even-
And then he went 10. I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, he took it out of pity. Out of pity.
Okay. So our final question is, when you're starting out, when's the time you start reaching brands and how do you reach out to them? What's the best way?
So the easiest thing to do is review whatever you have, because you're probably shooting on something, or you bought a few things, or whatever your interest is. If we're talking about what I do, like tech YouTube, review something that you know pretty well and that you use, and you do a bunch of those just by yourself. Iron out the kinks, figure out how to shoot your videos, and if they start to go pretty well, if you start to get some views and you do a good job, then the brands reach out really fast, like really fast. And
Did you reach out to brands or
No.
brands reach out to you?
They reached out to me,
Okay.
but I put my email in my description of my YouTube video.
Okay, not
so
in
that-
the about section, in the description.
in the description, so they would have an easy access to my email. And they started, like a lot of companies with like lower priced microphones or lower priced devices, who will just send it to you. You can just do a review. And of course, like nowadays, I probably wouldn't do that. I wouldn't spend 4 days of my time or a week of my time reviewing an inexpensive product just because they sent it to me. I'll try to work out a sponsorship deal, but that's because the channel is in demand.
Yeah.
And every video I make means I can't make videos for other companies. So I have to prioritize now.
Yes, because you have a limited amount of time, so you have to choose the one thing that pays,
Yeah.
right? Because now you've grown up, and
Right.
now, and I feel like a lot of people would think like, oh, now he's too big to review small stuff. He's leaving space for new creators to come up and take that vacuum.
Yeah. And,
Would you
and-
agree?
Yes, absolutely. And you can still be involved, like I like to still do lower price gear. I still like to, and there are times you do videos where no one's sponsoring you. No, you still have to do it for the love of the game, but like that stuff comes. But to get back to if you do high quality videos, and they don't have to be amazing, just do your best. And as you get a little bit better, you'd be surprised how quickly they reach out with a wireless microphone or a light or something like that. And then you do a video for them, and you don't demand money because, you don't have any views, you don't have any subscribers. And learn the process. They're going to send you a light and you're going to do a review of the light. Okay, and just do. And if you do a good job, and as your views pick up, if they want to send you that light again in 2 years, but you're making money doing it, then you say, well, we'll work out a sponsorship deal, or I'll have a 60 to 90 second integration commercial. Like, there's got to be a reason.
Which ones do you do most and prefer doing? Like a whole sponsored video or a sponsored segment?
So I do almost all dedicated reviews. So when someone gives me a sponsorship, they want a full 10-minute YouTube video.
Okay.
Brands prefer that. They want to be their product, have attention. So it's easier to get those deals.
Yeah.
And also, for me, I noticed that I thought I would like the 60 to 90 second more because I thought I would like, I'll do whatever video I want to do, and then I'll just jam that. But then it feels like I have to do 2 videos because I have to do the one video about the thing I like, and then I have to do a
high quality 90 version ad. Yeah.
And it's hard to make a succinct 90 second, especially with me where I do kind of a review.
Yeah.
It's hard to fit that into 90 seconds. So I kind of agree with the brands that I sort of prefer to relax and let's sit down and talk about this product for 10 minutes. Now, because it's sponsored, I try not to tell people, go buy it. I try not to sell them on it, but I say, if you're interested in this product, they're paying me to talk about it, so let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Here's how it works. Here are the pros and cons, in my opinion. Buy it if you want. Here's all the info. And brands, a lot of people are sometimes very cynical. They think brands tell us what to say.
Yeah.
They think they pay you to say certain things. Oh, if you say bad things, they'll never send you anything again.
Yeah.
None of that is true. It's just marketing. It's advertising.
Yeah.
They just want, as long as you're being fair, you can't sit down and trash the product unfairly.
Yeah.
But if you talk about the pros and cons, honestly, they usually actually like the feedback. They never check, at least my videos. I don't run them through a check system. And that's another thing. Anybody who thinks we're not disclosing or we're being paid secretly, nobody here would take that risk.
No,
because
it's not worth it.
Not worth losing your whole channel for one video to try to hide money. It's just, and also, why would you need it? Like I said, you just tell people honestly, they're paying me. I'm going to talk about it. And here's what I think about it.
And you need one video to ruin your reputation and content creation. If it's your career, then it's like, what do you do then?
Yeah. And it's also, once you're like me, and I'm not crazy successful, but it's just, I'm in demand enough that if somebody, the sponsorship is easy because I'll choose ones I like. I'm not going to go choose a sponsorship that I don't think the product is very good, because I could just choose somebody else's product. So when I'm talking about a sponsored product, I usually like it. In fact, I always like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it, because I would just move on to something else.
Yeah. Brands are paying for your audience, but you are asking money for your time.
Right. And that's it. The brands, the people that sponsorship, they're not paying so that I say certain things. They're paying to have access to my audience.
Yes.
And
but
so,
he's asking money for all the time he needs to put in, because he won't be making money to doing something else.
I could talk about another product. I could be doing something else, one of those integrations, or it could be an affiliate video where I talk about these lenses are cheap and here's my Amazon link. There's lots of different ways to make money.
Yeah.
So you would never do anything that would damage your integrity, because you don't have to. You can always do something else.
Exactly. So final thing is, what advice would you give to new content creators? What's something that you realized that you were doing wrong and you fixed it, and okay, if I start out today, I would do this.
I'll tell you the opposite. I'll tell you what I was doing right.
Okay, yeah.
Because I figured out something. Well, it's just, I was older when I started. I was in my 40s. I was mature, and I saw Gerald and all these guys. So what I realized is that you need to make a lot of videos, especially when you're starting out. You will get so much better, so much faster if you make a lot of videos. So I made it a goal to make 2 videos a week. And since you don't really know how to make videos very well, I kept them very, very simple. I will sit in front of a camera and I will talk for 6 minutes, and then I will edit that and I will put it up. And then they got more and more complicated until they were at the level I liked them. But I was doing 2 videos a week for a year, and I went from...
That's 100 videos.
Yeah, and I went from not very good to, well, whatever I am now. Slightly better, just very quickly.
Yeah.
So just don't say, I'm going to make a really good video and then next month I'll make another one. No,
Yeah.
make at least 1 video a week, but make it simple so that you will continue to do it.
That's so funny that you said this. I just posted a reel few days ago saying that your first 50 videos are gonna be trash. So get to the 51st
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So instead of like making that first one a masterpiece, get to the second, get to the third,
Yeah.
keep learning, keep improving.
And if the 5th video is not trash and somehow takes off, great.
Yeah.
But
And
just
it's
look
never
with that.
50.
Yeah.
Like 50 is a bit, by the time you reach 50,
Yeah.
one of your videos has blown up.
Yep.
You're nearing monetization because you need 80,000 views to monetize.
And you're making tweaks along the way, your audio, your lights, your editing, all these things, and it happens much, much faster if you're consistent. So at least 1 a week, sit down and commit to it, but make it simple so it doesn't take up all of your life, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add? I think.
No, that's perfect. You guys are going to be famous YouTubers now.
Yeah.
Famous. So thanks for having me.
No, this was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you for doing it.
Thank you for having me. I'm gonna walk off.
Okay. Yeah.